You're just a flightless bird!
Class is in session. Now, brothers know I've been trying to teach you brothers about what's going on out here. And it's serious this time. Now, like I warned you brothers about, the executive order, I told you guys they were going to try to make Bad Box normal, but you guys didn't want to listen. I told you they would make Bad Box normal, and I tried to warn you people. And I tried to put brothers on game, and brothers just didn't understand it. Okay? I tried to warn brothers about this. Now, this gives me enthusiasm to continue my class. These are the type of executive orders that will pass. And as usual, the black man won't know what the hell is going on. As usual. Excuse me. The black man won't have a clue of what just happened. Now, like I said, we're gonna have to do a whole series on this. This is a long announcement. Why? Why did this happen? This happened because, you know, they ain't having no babies. Somebody got in the president's ear. Somebody got in the president's ear, yo, and told him, hey, you could give these people money, Mr. President, but they still won't parabond with a man and make families. And they told him, if you want America to have any sort of population, then you need to pass this or try to get this done. That's what happened. That's what happened, players. You know, this is, I'm sure, I don't know. A couple people may cover it, but not, you know, not covered as the way it should be covered. Because this is what you call the pass. Once again, government helping women be away from men. But this time, it's not on the men. This time is different. All right? This time is not on the men. This is different this time. They're basically admitting it's the women. So they have to pull this off. I mean, guys, when you guys get a load of this shit, you're going to be highly upset. You know? You're going to be highly upset.
Call, as you know, with President Putin. I thought it was a very good call, so we'll talk about it maybe later. But it went very well. We're here today to announce a historic victory for American women, mothers, and families. With the actions I will outline this afternoon, will dramatically slash the cost of IVF and the treatment and many of the most common fertility drugs for countless millions of Americans. Prices are going way down, way, way down. I want to thank Libby Horn, who is the Senior Vice President of Fertility of EMD Serrano. So I want to thank you. Let's see here. That's what I thought. I thought it was you. Thank you, Libby, very much. And let me also thank the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whose wife destroyed the people on The View yesterday. I have to say that. I'm not going to ever get into an argument with her. And you've decided, you learned that a long time ago. Right? She did a great job, actually. Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick. Thank you, Howard. Secretary of Labor.
Not sure if you saw the news, but Fox News is claiming President Trump is declining in the polls. President Trump responded.
Lori Chavez de Rima. Thanks, Lori. Howard, thanks. CMS Administrator Dr. Mehmet Oz, who's a fantastic guy, and he's done really well. FDA Commissioner Marty Makary. Thank you, Marty. Senator Katie Britt, who got me started with this whole thing when she called up to say there was a bad ruling by a judge, right? We got to do something, sir, and we did it very quickly, probably in.
Now, as we know, clearly it's for the white woman, but unfortunately the black woman uses this more than the white woman. This is going to be a fascinating series, man. We're going to get into this, man. So I'm just setting the stage, man. We're going to cover this. This is emergency class over and over and over. I tried to warn brothers that this was an emergency. I really did. You know, this is something here, guys. It's just a lot to cover. This is about an hour. This is an hour. He spoke for an hour on Bad Box. The president spoke for an hour on Bad Box. Everything I tried to tell you guys what was coming along, that they would try to make Bad Box something that you had to be sympathetic to. They done got in the president's ear, and they was like, Mr. President, that money that you want to give women to have babies with a family, that tax and all that stuff, they said that's not going to work. We need to get more matrix babies. We need to get more matrix babies. So we need IVF, Mr. President, so women can do it alone. And he signed an executive order to where they trying to make IVF on people's job health insurance. He has brought the cost down to IVF from what he said about 700%. He switched companies from Pfizer to EDM for IVF, for lack of better terms, but I wanted to say for fertilization. So they really try, and he's sitting there. They done told the president for couples that's struggling, and we need more population, we need more Americans, and all this wild shit. Couples that's struggling, Mr. President, why are they struggling? Let's get to the bottom of that. So they're trying everything to cover the responsibility of these women having Bad Box. This is some wild shit.
24 hours it was done. Congressman Richard Hudson, a great guy, and crushing costs in their quest to start a family, and American couples advocate Samantha Bush, who's a very respected person. For years, American couples struggling with infertility have faced crushing costs in their quest to start a family, and IVF is among the most expensive treatments of all. A single round of IVF in the United States can cost up to $25,000, can actually go a lot higher than that, and many couples require multiple rounds for a successful pregnancy. A major reason for these high prices is the excessive cost of the drugs involved. The number one fertility drug used in IVF is currently 700% more expensive in the United States than the rest of the world. And you know, we're ending all of that. It's called favored nations, and we're ending it, and we're ending it pretty fast. Nobody thought we'd be able to do it, and we've done it. The drugs are going to come down. Drug prices are coming down 400%, 200%, 600%, numbers that nobody's ever seen before. Great for Medicare, Medicaid, even Social Security. Great for everything, I think, Dr. Oz. So that's something that's, to me, it's very exciting. I'm bugging him and Bobby all the time. How are we doing with that? And we're doing really good, Bobby. Right? It's really going good. Other countries are agreeing to it, because if they don't, we put tariffs on them. As an example, in London, you have a count a month ago, and in New York, you pay $1,300 for the same thing. So now we're going to be paying Instead of $1,300, you'll be paying about $150.
So think of it as like a TV ad with a catalog component where I can choose on the Roku app and immediately.
And they'll be paying $150 too. We're going to pay the same thing. Favored nations. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And we've been ripped off by the whole world for a long period of time. One of the most popular fertility drug regimens costs over $5,000 per cycle, as an example. Wow. Largely as a result of these unsustainable prices, 70% of the employers do not offer insurance that covers IVF. Therefore, most couples with fertility challenges are paying these costs entirely out of their own pockets, which is not really possible to do. Oh, look who we have. Look at that. In the Trump administration, we want to make it easier for all couples to have babies, raise children, and start the families they've always dreamed about. That's why today.
So, guys, everything that I've been teaching you niggas and everything I've been telling you, this is what it is, man. The Trump administration understands this IVF stuff is one thing, but the other thing is these women, men ain't fucking with them like that. Men are hip to their bullshit. They're not getting married. And they've been trying to find a way to make having babies by themselves cheaper. And the shit is wild. The shit is wild. China, they doing it. And what the president don't understand, if you make IVF cheaper, he don't understand. China, they're paying white women to do IVF for Chinese sperm. Pause. And so the white woman is a surrogate for the Chinese woman. And they get the baby the passport. The baby is he's raised in America or whatever, going back and forth to China till he turned 18. They put his ass in the Chinese army when he turned 18. He got to do his term in the army. But he was an IVF sperm that was a surrogate to a white American woman who got paid to have a baby by the Chinese. This been going on for a while now. So by him bringing the price down, I mean, like I said, when it comes to this pussy, son, it's a whole circus, B. And he got these white bitches done got in his ear, man.
I'm pleased to announce that after extensive negotiations, EMD Serono, the largest fertility drug manufacturer in the world, has agreed to provide massive discounts to all fertility drugs they sell in the United States, including the most popular drug.
So, massive fertility drugs. Trump made a deal with another company. He was with Pfizer at first, but he with these other people. And like we always say, we don't know what these people are doing. But he got all the people up there, the health, Dr. Oz, the FDA. So I guess they cleared it. It is what it is.
Of all the IVF drug, Gonal-F. So it's Gonal-F. Is that a proper pronunciation? Very Close enough, right? Gonal-F. As part of this agreement, EMD Serono will list their fertility drugs online at trumprx.gov.
Now you can get this new fertility drug for a discounted price at trumprx.gov. So what else did they tell the president? Mr. President, these bitches are ridiculous. They'll spend so much money. They said, Mr. President, these women are so out of control that if you put it on trumprx.gov, they will buy this shit like hotcakes, Mr. President. And you know Trump, he's making deals with all the companies so that his family fortune and wealth continues. And they got in his ear, and it's a good deal.
At very, very heavily reduced prices that you won't even believe. And ultimately, that's because of the favored nations. In addition, the FDA will be working with the company to expedite review and approval of another common fertility IVF drug, and currently it's selling in Europe. It's Pergoveris.
So it's another drug selling in Europe right now.
Pergoveris. And that's a sound nice name. Pergo, Veris. Why can't you name them nice, simple names? Nice, easy names. Doesn't matter. If it works, that's all we care about, right? Upon approval, this drug would directly compete against a much more expensive option that currently has a monopoly in the American market, and this will bring down costs very significantly. And the other one's going to have to come down also. Finally, EMD Serrano has agreed that all future drugs and everything that it develops and sells in the United States will
Invest in yourself and become a registered nurse at University of Bridgeport. UB's new part
be offset at most favored nation prices. I've been after this for a long time. And we started the process in the last administration, and then we had a little thing called COVID that came up. We had to focus on that, did a good job on that too. And they'll bring a significant portion of their drug manufacturing back to the United States. So they're going to bring it largely back into the United States, and that's for a lot of reasons, but primarily because of the election result, November 5th, and maybe most importantly because of the tariffs, because if they do it here, there are no tariffs. So we're going to be very close, I think by the end of this year, we're going to be very close to $20 trillion in investment. As an example, the Biden administration had less than $1 trillion, substantially less than $1 trillion for 4 years. Maria, can you imagine? 4 years, less than one. We're going to break $20 trillion of investment, and we're already over $17 trillion, and that's in 8 months. Can you believe that? And he was at less than $1 trillion. And in addition to that, he had open borders, allowing millions of people to pour in. What an administration that was. Worst president in history, by far. As a result of these actions, the per-cycle cost of drugs used in IVF will fall by an estimated 73% for American consumers, and the numbers are going to actually be very substantially higher as time goes by when it really kicks in for most of it. I mean, think of those numbers. You know, I told the story last time because we were with Pfizer, and Pfizer's doing something very similar. But I told them that my first term, I was so proud of myself because I was the first president in 28 years where drug prices went down for the year. And you know what they went down? 1/8 of 1%. But I was so 1/8 of 1%. Now I'm proud of that. Now I realize, and I called the news by 1/8 of 1%. For most administrations and all of the people involved in this kind of thing, this action would be a crowning achievement of their agenda for fertility health. But for us, it's really just the beginning. It's just the start. It's one of many things we're doing. Today, we're also taking historic steps to vastly expand access to insurance coverage for fertility care, including IVF, something that, as you know, was not covered. Effective immediately, for the first time ever, we will make it legal for companies to offer supplemental insurance plans specifically for fertility.
Companies will make supplemental insurance plans for fertility. Guys, I've been warning about this. I tried to tell you niggas. Nobody else could tell you. And like I said, this is now, what is it about this press conference? I'm the only one that's attracted to this press conference. Well, I'm one of the only people that's attracted to it. As a black man, straight, you brothers ain't gonna watch no shit like this. But you will understand the ramifications of this shit. This is another opportunity for bitches to act like, nah, bitch, it's your fault that we doing IVF. So what did Trump and them do? They got in his ear and said, yo, look, try to get this shit a part of the health coverages so these bitches could work for it. Try to make it good because these bitches pussies are bad. Turn these men into suckers in a different way. And we not making enough white babies. We got to do something to create more white babies.
Never been done before. We're signing it in today with what we signed. Americans will be able to opt in to specialized coverage just as they get vision and dental insurance. They're going to get fertility insurance for the first time. So I don't know. I don't know how well these things are covered. I see the Democrats like to take credit for all of the things we do. We do the things and they take the credit. But I figure if you do enough of these, eventually people are going to figure it out. The Democrats have done nothing. This will make all fertility care, including IVF, far more affordable and accessible. And by providing coverage at every step of the way, it will reduce the number of people who ultimately need to resort to IVF because couples will be able to identify and address problems early.
Couples will be able to identify and address problems early. But I teach you niggas. What have I taught you niggas, man? This is everything. And now it's on the level that I told you it was gonna go to. They was gonna make having bad box a thing. I told you niggas.
The result will be healthier pregnancies, healthier babies, and many more beautiful American children. It's a big factor. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Ain't no white babies. Listen.
Because couples will be able to identify and address problems early. The result will be healthier pregnancies, healthier babies, and many more beautiful American children. It's a big.
What's the downside, guys? What's the downside? Where is the donors coming from? Lebanon, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, all these wild places. But they'll be labeled American. See, you know what the Americans want? They just need more people to work, more taxpayers.
Factor. It's a big deal. I'm asking all employers to make these new fertility benefit options available to their employees immediately. The initiatives I've just announced are the boldest and most significant actions ever taken by any president to bring the miracle of life into more American homes. And I will say,
to bring the miracle of life into more American homes. Mr. President, why can't they do it by making whoopee? Things have changed. Women have ruined the vaginal canal.
Katie was, as you know, she's a great senator from Alabama. She's the first one that children, and now millions of Americans struggling with infertility will have a new chance to share the greatest experience of them all. So,
now, what do you want as a man or as a woman? Do you want to be struggling with infertility and have to go through this, or do you want to make a baby the old-fashioned way? Well, Prince, technology and science is moving so fast nowadays, I don't even think you have to make love anymore. You can just use the new President Trump's executive order to have a Matrix baby.
There's no deeper happiness and joy of raising children, and now millions of Americans struggling with infertility.
There's no deeper joy than raising children. But look what happened to the pussy. Look what happened to American pussy. Tell them, Mr. President, is it a struggle or not?
There's no deeper happiness and joy of raising children, and now millions of Americans struggling with infertility will have a new chance to share.
They struggling with infertility. So pussy in America ain't shit. Let's go.
Share the greatest experience of them all. So I'd like to thank all of the people that are here, and I think we'll start with Dr. Oz. And
listen, brothers and sisters, I tried to tell you niggas a long time ago, man. I am here to help you. I warned you before this. Everybody took, the pussy knowledge that we was, sharing with one another over here as a joke. Now look, like I said before, ain't none of you niggas watching no press conference like this. You hear what that nigga, you skip the video. No, this is the shit we've been talking about. And they'll slip press conferences like this right past you.
Ms. Horn, we'll go through the list and we'll listen. And yesterday I did this, and I stood for about an hour and a half as people spoke. And I said, this time I'm sitting right there, and I'm going to watch you. I stood for an hour and a half like this. I said, you got to be kidding. Here we go. It was one after another, and it was wonderful listening to him. But I said, if I have to do this every day, Bobby, should I stand or sit? Thank you, Bobby. Please, Dr. Oz.
Imagine bringing your...
Guys, I tried to tell you niggas this is a whole press conference of bad box. You niggas will get it one day. You niggas will get it one day.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were.
You're just a flightless bird!
Her womb is so polluted. I can't even have a fucking little baby with her.
That's what Trump is basically trying to tell you niggas. But you still think it's a game. Well, it's done made it to the damn White House executive order.
Her womb is so polluted. I can't even have a fucking little baby with her.
King, President Trump. Sir, from the very first phone call we ever had, your support was strong. It was steadfast. It was unwavering. And because of you, millions of Americans are going to have a greater opportunity to bring the greatest gift, in my opinion, life into this world. Your support, your administration's support, is a game changer. All of us here today are aligned. This is a celebration of life. It's a celebration of parents. It's a celebration of families. And it's a celebration for those people who want to one day be parents themselves. I think every parent can attest, and I certainly do myself, that the greatest gift that God has ever given me is the ability to be a mom.
Well, how did you get that ability? Did you make love or did you go IVF? But this is how they get you niggas. You understand? I showed you the type of moms that they making with this type of shit. Some old weird ass mothers, B. Y'all niggas are crazy. But let me show you what's going on TikTok real quick about what the pussy thinks. Like, this gonna be a series. We can't go do the whole press conference. It's like the whole hour, and we're gonna be stopping it. So we'll break the press conference up. So listen to what the pussy is saying so far. Now remember, we're the first and mostly the only people, black males, that really give a fuck about this and trying to put brothers on. So these women, they're just hearing the word and they'll hear the word from someone else. And we'll get more TikToks over time, but these are the early ones.
Hey guys, it's Leach. Listen. So, my God. I was watching some of this press conference that Trump is in. God bless. I mean, it's just crazy. But anyway, he was talking about IVF therapy for those who are not able
Hold on, man. Hold on.
Have children naturally.
Hold on, man. This shit won't give me the TikTok. Let's go back here for a second. And then let's try to get the TikTok. Brother, these gladiators are crazy. Okay, they won't let me get the TikTok popping. That's fine. That's fine. Let me try to refresh the page real quick. Give me a second. Let's see what happened. All right, no TikTok, man. Guess we're going to have to cover that. Because my gladiator, I guess her daddy came up here from South Carolina. And so they went downtown. They went to the World Trade. Whatever that shit is they got down there now. They went to the World Trade. They went to the Statue of Liberty. They went to Little Italy. And the bitch called me, said, so she about to drop them off at some hotel or some shit. So I can't do everything I want to do. But let's get back to this.
We want more people to have that opportunity. We want to make that easier and more affordable. IVF is what makes the difference for so many families that are facing infertility. So you've seen the numbers. It's either 1 in 8 couples, or some people say as much as 1 in 6, are actually experiencing issues with fertility. It's 9% of males and at least 11% of females that are facing these challenges as they work to build their family. The recommendations today that President Trump has set forth are going to expand IVF coverage to nearly 1 million more families. And they're
Oh, yeah, great point, Bernie. Great point. I can't even find my chats no more. I don't even got my chats no more. What? Yeah, Bernie, I can't even see your chat, but I see it over here on the other side. Also, they're trying to piss off the pro-abortion people. This is very important. It's weird, though, because bitches going to get abortions, and then bitches going to have bad pussy to where they got to go IVF. Now, the IVF thing is good because they don't need a man. You see? So talking all that family shit is bullshit.
We're going to drive.
And if you want my estimation, this is going to be a series we're going to do over and over before we could get to the end of this. But if you want my predetermined opinion, this is about, in my opinion, this is about Trump cutting some deals, and they told him you could make a lot of money off of this shit. That's what my thing. Because this whole IVF, abortion, all the shit revolving around pussy, it's lucrative. It is lucrative.
Down cost significantly. Mr. President, this is the most pro-IVF thing that any president in the history of the United States of America has done.
What I try to teach you niggas, they're going to try to make Bad Box a thing. They're in there clapping about bitches that didn't take care of their pussy their whole lives. Look.
States of America has done. And Mr. President, it's your leadership. You are the reason why the Republican Party is now the party of parents. We are the party of families. This is why when Senator Cruz and I worked last year, we got every single Republican senator to sign on and say that they supported nationwide access to IVF. And just for the record, IVF is legal and accessible in all 50 states. And President Trump taking this action today to lower cost, to bring these issues to the forefront, and to enact solutions for people working to start their families, I want you to know it's significant and there's more to come. But this isn't the only thing that you've done to prove that we're the party of parents and we're the party of families. If you look at the working family tax cut, guys, he made sure that hard-working parents were front and center in that legislation. You know, whether it was child tax credits being expanded and made permanent, whether it was Trump accounts that are going to change the game for so many parents, or whether it was childcare.
See, Trump accounts. They get all these matrix babies going on, give all them Trump accounts, he take his cut. That's what you call generational wealth.
That are going to change the game for so many parents, or whether it was childcare. So for decades, we have heard Democrats talk about childcare. President Trump actually took action on the affordability and accessibility of childcare. We know that 1 in 4 families say that they hesitate to have more children because of the cost and because of childcare cost. For the first time, this man actually took steps to change the dynamics for hardworking parents. So of the 3 tax credits that he reformed and the working families tax cuts, 2 of them had not been touched in 2 decades, and 1 of them had not been touched since 1986. So President Reagan was in office the last time anybody did anything about it. But you changed the game on that, and I was proud to lead that effort in the Senate. And so on behalf of moms and dads, on behalf of grandparents and sisters and aunts and uncles and brothers and people who are looking to expand their family.
It's a damn shame. This is what we got to do to make families, man. This is a direct effect of these bitches. All right? Like, you need to hear the story, the truth. You need to hear the truth. This is how far these bitches done took it, man.
We say thank you. Thank you for all you do to support families in this country and make a healthier environment. And
can't even go fucking make a fucking family with a bitch.
An easier one for us to grow the very most important thing. God bless.
So nice. Thank you.
So let's set the stage. To put it in perspective, 2 weeks ago, as President Trump alluded, a leading U.S. drug manufacturer came into this room and agreed to do something none of us thought was possible. A most favored nation agreement with numbers, again, inconceivable. Last week, a company from Europe, a global leader in the pharmaceutical sector, came to this office, made the same kind of commitment for most favored nation pricing, again, because the president insisted on it and was persistent, and he alluded to the fact that he was calling Secretary Kennedy and me quite a bit. He definitely was, with great insights into the process, and would not hold back. But I think what you're seeing today is something even larger. It's larger because we're now...
Something even larger. We're holding a press conference so bitches could have bad pussy and we still make a way. put chips in their fucking babies.
Now showing that MFN is a tool that can get other initiatives going as well. We are revealing perhaps the most important MFN opportunity at all because it's about procreation. It's about babies. It turns out that MFN is a tool for a lot of things, and it goes without saying that you get the drug pricing down, but lots of other business necessities become possible when that occurs. So Secretary Kennedy and I, who's a wonderful leader, talk frequently about family.
Bro, you're done already?
Yeah, bro.
How?
I hired Motion to hire AI employees.
I think the reason he's a great leader and president as well is because they have large families and they take pride in the joy that it gives us. But many families, as Senator Britton alluded, do not have the ability to have children. But it turns out that it's about 1 in 3 families, a much higher number, that don't have the number of babies they desire. They're under-babied.
What I try to teach you niggas. What's the story? What's the story, Prince? Whole phase in the 20s. Deletions on the box. Bad diet, bad lifestyle, excessive mileage. They want to have a child 35 to 40. That's going to get you 1 baby. You don't know how good that baby is or not. So all of that, they trying to have more than 1 baby is bullshit. They're trying anything to get some population going. Because if you leave it up to these bitches and their pussies or having to deal with a man, they done fucked that up. All right?
So this president committed to address that during the campaign, and he is delivering on that today in a way I don't think anyone thought was possible. We're opening the door with MFN pricing and tariffs that supported Secretary Lutnick with a new approach to make reproductive medicine more affordable for
tariffs on bad box. Tariffs, nigga.
And pricing and tariffs that supported Secretary Lutnick with a new approach to make reproductive medicine more affordable for Americans. Now, I know what you're all thinking, and you're probably right. There are going to be a lot of Trump babies. I think that's probably a good thing. But it turns out the fundamental creative force in society is about making babies. It's about creating. And this.
You hear that? The force of society is about making babies. Told by the doctor. What do the bitches say to that? Fuck you. Drop dead.
Americans. Now, I know what you're all thinking, and you're probably right. There are going to be a lot of Trump babies. I think that's probably a good thing. But it turns out the fundamental creative force in society is about making babies. It's about creating. And this country, the one that President Trump is leading so beautifully, has been a country of abundance, not scarcity. To have abundance, you have to address the fact that we had 3.6 million babies last year, which is beautiful. 3.6 million miracles. That's 500,000 less babies than we would ideally have had.
There you go, guys. Now, who does that autonomy fall on? I try to tell niggas, man. This is bigger than Nino. Shit is in the White House, man. The same bad pussy I've been telling y'all about. Same bad pussy they've been giving us, dog. Telling us what we need to do. Bitch can't even maintain her own pussy.
All these German shepherds.
To replace our current population. Building on the success of the last 2 weeks, our team, led by the head of Medicare, Chris Klump, who's standing over there, and Inez Hernandez, have negotiated a spectacular MFN deal to reduce the cost of IVF drug prices by $2,200 a cycle. That's nearly half of the price.
$2,200 a cycle. Some of these people go through 3 and 4 cycles of IVF, running people through hell, trying to get some baby. I'm not going to say the baby's slow or whatever. You know what it is, man. Yeah, this is a lot to cover, man, because I got to mix the TikTok in. Y'all need to see this shit. Y'all need to see what the women think about this. This is some wild shit, man. I try to tell you niggas about this pussy. It ain't loading up, though. So what I'm going to do, my gladiator's going to come in from having a very, very lengthy, fun day. And I'm the only one that's going to get the attitude of the bitch. So I got to deal with that. And then Maybe the bitch would go to sleep. Maybe I get a bitch a back rub and she could go to sleep, and I could come back to this. Cause this is a lot to deal with, man. I need to show y'all how the bitches feel about this before we get into all of these other people that's about to speak. But summarize, yeah, they done got in Trump's ear, man. Trump signed an executive order on this IVF. So the bitches can mistreat and abuse their bodies and still find a way to get pregnant. It should be a room full of black women in this press conference with Trump. Right. Men and everything. Like, these are the press conferences that we will not pay attention to. You know? This I mean, we need to understand, Mr. President, why are they struggling? Let's get to the bottom of that, Mr. President. And we know you ain't gonna hear that nowhere. Why is this a struggle in the first place? Because this is a lifelong process of destruction. Bitches don't know how to maintain their pussy. They're only taught to abuse their pussy. You know? And then they have autonomy and decision making on their pussy, which gives us what? All this fucking autism and all this wild shit. We gonna get into it all. Okay? It's the same old class, same old story. It's just a bigger emergency now. Look what happened. It went to the White House. What went to the White House, Prince? Bad pussy. And the efforts to clean it up. Horrible bitches that can't pair bond with a man in an effort to clean it up. Bitches that can't afford it. Because K. Michelle, she spent big money. Big money. Still ain't got no baby. Some of the babies came out deformed and all sorts of shit. So they're lowering the prices, trying to put it in people's job health insurance. This is a whole concentrated effort on pussy, guys. Y'all niggas, you think it's me.
You wonder why they call you bitch. You wonder why they call you bitch.
You tripping. What you said? Man, that's a female.
Professional women don't know how to be girls. That's just the net of it. Professional women today are losing with high-value men because you're like men.
And that's all these bitches want to be, man. Think about it. They want to fuck themselves, have a baby by themselves. They are fucking sick. They should be in there clapping and cheering. You know they spend the most money on their box. Right. Trump put the new fertility drug at a discounted price on TrumpRx.gov. He's getting a cut of that money. So you know he about to kill it. But how would all the shit that Al Sharpton and Roland Martin and them talking about, they can't break it down and know how Trump is making money, you know, doing some sneaky shit right now. Because they don't know nothing about no pussy. He put these drugs on TrumpRx.gov. He said, go there and get it. Can't get it nowhere else. Me and my crew up here, we about to get this money. Why? Why, Prince? Because somebody got in that nigga ear. Said these bitches don't want no men, but they want to have babies. They spend money. Guess what, Mr. President? If you could like put this shit a part of all of the jobs health insurance, we talking about automatic billions, Mr. President. What you think about that, Mr. President? Let's go for it. Mr. President, Trump got up there and said, look, I don't know nothing about this shit. You know, Trump said, look, the drugs, I have babies the natural way. It's crazy. Crazy, son. But Roland Martin and them, they can't attack this point on Trump. They can't track this. Why? They don't even know nothing to give a shit about no pussy. That's what we will be covering. Yo, I saw this shit when I was in my car. I said, oh, hell no. We got to do emergency class. This is crazy. This is everything we've been talking about, players. All right, man. I'm going to come back later, man. My gladiator's coming in, man. I got to, how they say, set the stage.